Dragonverse fans, it is time. We have finally arrived at the first season of Aquatus. Here at the Dragonverse, you all know the motto: familiar powers, unfamiliar heroes. So, as the first season of Aquatus kicks off, I hope you all enjoy. Previously on Aquatus, a younger General Marcos faces off against Janrius. Janrius easily dodges Marcos' attempts to hit him. The food here tastes like dead octopus. Thankfully, my mother's amazing. The beasts are getting stronger. I hate that the queen made me carry out your execution. I thought you and my dad were friends. Guess not. I need you to travel to the Blackened Trench. I need you to eliminate the one who lives there. Aquatus sits atop the Blackened Trench. His boredom is evident. He looks in the direction of the magical barrier. Nothing. Over the next few hours, Aquatus tries many things to keep himself entertained. He tosses his spear back and forth, goes on numerous patrols. He trains physically and with his spear. He even manages to take several naps. No monsters appear. At this rate, I'll take anything. Even more fish wouldn't hurt. Aquatus laments his fate and continues with his day. The day finally comes to an end. Rather uneventful. Nobody's come to visit in a few days. Hopefully Mother's on her way back. Aquatus yawns. I'm surprised Starfin, Goldscale, and Coral haven't came yet. Maybe they will soon. I'd like to see them. Aquatus settles in for the night and drifts off to sleep. Several hours later, on the far side of the trench, a lone dolphin arrives. The dolphin casually swims through the dark waters. It passes the magical barrier and keeps going until it finds Aquatus resting. The dolphin watches him sleep for several minutes before leaving him alone. Aquatus wakes the following morning. He begins to go through his morning routine. He swims up to the barrier. I don't know how this works, but something would be nice. So long as it's not strong enough to kill me. Nothing happens, and Aquatus swims back to his usual spot. Here's to another lovely day at the Blackened Trench. While Aquatus waits for anything to happen, his mind drifts. A short while later, several fish begin to swim past. Aquatus perks up. This is an improvement. As the few fish swim through the area, from a distance, the same dolphin watches him. King Phaedrus swims in the open water. He comes to a stop in a bountiful area. He spots several fish. He closes his eyes and concentrates. The fish continue to swim around him. Phaedrus opens his eyes, a look of disappointment on his face. Queen Mother Nerissa arrives, a smile on hers. She bows. Good morning, my son. What are you doing out here? Trying to summon the fish. The queen looks around at the fish and smiles. A success, then? No. These were already here. I was simply attempting to see if I could connect to them, just as father and grandfather could. I'm sorry, Phaedrus. I pray to Poseidon every night for your abilities to show. Doesn't seem to be working. Give it time, my son. I just don't understand the delay. My son, you haven't been to the temple in some time. I've noticed your attitude towards our Creator. It hasn't been favorable. Why does that matter? It's supposed to be genetic, is it not? Maybe you can ask him. If he's listening, which I believe he is, you'll get an answer. I'll try. We are the greatest civilization in the sea. The Seaborn are scattered tribes. The Lost are mutated monsters. The Karkarans can't rival our strength. Only Atlantis can. However, we must remember who guided us to this point. You're right, Mother. Forgive me. I'm not the one you need to be asking forgiveness from. Queen Mother Nerissa smiles and hugs her son. He hugs her back. However, he doesn't appear to be convinced. More fish have joined Aquatus in the trench. This is incredible. All these fish showing up when I needed them to? They're hardly talkative, but it's better than the alternative. As Aquatus focuses, he feels a connection between himself and the fish. The fish stop swimming around him and focus on him. Aquatus is surprised. What's going on? Are they watching me? Aquatus begins to move his arms. The fish simply stare at him. He begins to swim, but the fish remain in place. That didn't work, but I still feel a connection. Think, Nikias. Follow me? He commands the fish and begins to swim. To his surprise, the fish begin to follow him. Aquatus stops and the fish stop. Okay, let's try something else. Swim to Meropis. The fish turn and begin to swim away from him. Stop! Come back. The fish follow his every command. Aquatus' eyes go wide. The fish are listening to me? I must be dreaming, yet it's true. How? How is this possible? As Aquatus processes the information, the dolphin arrives. Hey, are you the reason my head's hurting? Aquatus spins around and sees the dolphin. You! I can hear you in my head. I can hear you in mine. I imagine the fish can too. Do you know what's going on? I have an idea, but I'm just a dolphin. A talking dolphin. Aquatus realizes something. He bows with respect to the dolphin. What are you doing? Oh, great and mighty dolphin, you honor me with your presence. You okay? Dolphins, they're sacred to my creator. Is that so? Sounds like your creator is rather intelligent. You're the only one I can speak to, which tells me something is different about you. Meaning? Can you help me figure out what's going on? A talking dolphin shows up, and you believe I can help you? Are you saying you can't? Maybe I can. A proposition, then. I'll see if I can help you in exchange for answering any questions once you're done. Deal. Wonderful. All right, let's get started. Thalassa runs into General Marcos in the halls of the castle. General Marcos? Future Queen Thalassa. To what do I owe the pleasure? I heard you recently visited the Blackened Trench. Indeed. What of it? Did you see anything dangerous while you were there? Did you see the barrier? What's your interest in the Blackened Trench? It's incredibly fascinating, yet we know so little about it. If only we could conduct more research. Research? The Blackened Trench is dangerous. Anything or anyone sent there dies. We've known this since it was discovered. We owe it to ourselves to study it, do we not? The general sighs. Focus on your upcoming marriage to King Phaedrus. That's much less dangerous, yet will require greater effort. A guard swims up to the general with haste and salutes. General Marcos. At ease. What news do you have? I bring an urgent report from the outer cities, sir. You need to hear this. General Marcos sighs deeply. Go on. King Phaedrus has returned to the throne room with his mother. When's the last time you and Thalassa spent time together? The tournament. Phaedrus, she's to be your wife. You can do better. Do better? I recall you marrying father despite only a few meetings. That didn't mean I didn't want to spend more time with him. I'm the king, mother. We'll be wed, and then she's all mine, and I'm all hers. A wise king listens to counsel. I'm trying to aid you. What do you suggest, mother? Long swims to the outer city-states? Romantic trips through coral reefs? The queen smiles. Those are excellent starting points. The door opens and General Marcos swims inside. He bows. King Phaedrus, Queen Mother, I have urgent news. What is it? The Lost have attacked us. The Queen Mother gasps, and King Phaedrus' eyes go wide with surprise. Aquatus and Phineas begin training in the trench. To begin, let's make something clear. You can't speak to the fish. I'm speaking to you, aren't I? I'm not a fish, genius. Your ability is known as aquatic telepathy. It allows you to summon and command sea life to do your bidding. Sounds simple enough. It can be rather taxing on your mind, so don't overwhelm yourself. How taxing can it be? I was doing just fine earlier. Yes, and it was a good start. But you can summon much greater beasts, once your mind can handle the strain. Now then, let's begin. Just start by summoning a few fish here. Alright. Oh, hey, I never did ask your name. It's Phineas. Aquatus stares blankly at the dolphin. You're not serious, are you? Why would I lie? Oh, wow. Forget about it. Just concentrate. Aquatus concentrates hard. He begins to grit his teeth. You're trying too hard. Aquatus ignores the dolphin and keeps concentrating. You were doing it so effortlessly earlier. I wonder what changed. Aquatus looks the dolphin in the eyes. I've got no idea. Aquatus tries to summon a fish just like before. Many hours go by until he is finally successful. A single clownfish swims in the area. Maybe we do have a problem. Is this your idea of training? You've been silent for hours. I'm trying to let you concentrate. Then, whenever you do say something, it's a snide remark. Look at the results. I'd say my remarks are warranted. Because you're a poor instructor. Me? A poor instructor? Listen here, you little Meropian. I'll have you know that I'm your what? Go on. Finish it. The two glare at each other. How's this for poor instruction? Take a break. You've worn out what little brain power you have. Aquatus grabs his spear and flourishes it. He angrily swims away from the dolphin. In the dead of night, after the lessons are over and Aquatus sleeps, Phineas watches him once more. I don't know what you see in this boy, but he does have potential. Phineas continues to watch him from afar. Back in Meropis, King Phaedrus, General Marcos, and several other advisors are gathered. With a touch of magic, a map of Meropian territory is displayed in the room. The Lost appeared outside of Hyliferos and attacked. We know how those creatures operate. They kill everything in sight. From what I've heard, casualties are low, but growing. The guards were caught off guard, but rallied. However, they're going to need reinforcements. What are your orders, King Phaedrus? King Phaedrus studies the map. Did they make any demands? Do they ever? Such a sudden attack. They must want something. Why risk destruction? The Lost are hardly known for being strategic. How long will it take for our men to arrive? With our best swimmers, they can arrive in under an hour. Can our men hold out until then? They don't have much choice. That's what their training is for. I don't want them to rush in. Have our reinforcements cut off the rear. Seal the Lost in the city. Once they're cornered, overwhelm them with greater numbers. A sound strategy, but the Lost won't go down so easily. Do you have a suggestion? Yes. Send a detachment of spellweavers with the battalion. For what reason? The Lost aren't good against magic. It will split their focus, make it hard to focus on a murder spree. The king thinks about the general's advice. Do it. Yes, King Phaedrus. General Marcos and the advisors salute him and prepare to send the battalion. Aquatus floats in the open water above the trench. Aquatus has his eyes closed. Phineas swims around him. Envision the sea creatures in your mind, then call to them. Aquatus relaxes and follows instructions. He feels his mind connect to a large school of fish nearby. Got something? Quiet, dolphin. If Phineas could roll his eyes, he would. Instead, he follows the request. A few moments later, the school of fish arrive. Aquatus smiles. All too easy. You summon a school of fish. Very impressive. Aquatus glares at the dolphin. Let's try something actually impressive. Try seeing if you can get a shark. A shark? No problem. Summoning fish is a neat trick, but the key with your abilities is to summon creatures that can fight with you. Fight with me? They'll do that? Why, yes. All you have to do is ask. Aquatus closes his eyes and focuses. He focuses on summoning something more aggressive. With his eyes closed, he doesn't see the barrier flash. A shark does appear, but it's from the trench. It closely resembles a tiger shark, except it's twice as large and has an extra fin along its spine. It begins to swim up and out of the trench. Aquatus continues to focus, not realizing what's happened. Phineas spots the shark. Kid? Not now, Phineas. I've almost got one. Almost? I'd say you were rather successful. Aquatus opens his eyes and sees the shark bearing down on the both of them. That's not what I had in mind. On the contrary, I'd say it's exactly what was on your mind. Let me try again. Too late. The shark opens its mouth to consume Aquatus and Phineas, causing both to dash out of the way. King Phaedrus sits in his throne room. Several hours have passed. General Marcos returns and salutes. My king, I have news to report. Good news, I hope. By the time reinforcements arrived, the Lost had ingrained themselves in the city. They launched an ambush. But, with the combined remaining forces, our men won the battle. How many did we lose? We lost 75% of our soldiers in the defense and retaking of the city. It was thanks to our spellweavers we didn't lose more. I see. Surprisingly, we managed to capture one. He's in the dungeon, awaiting interrogation. I would like to attend. Of course. Let us go now, my king. King Phaedrus and General Marcos exit the throne room. General Marcos and King Phaedrus arrive at the cell. The prisoner is chained and bound. The man slightly resembles his sea-born ancestors. He's 10 feet tall with a long tail that curls around his body. His long humanoid torso has 2 arms with 5 fingers that end in long, sharp claws. His face is more aggressive and bestial. A spiky fin extends from the crown of his head all the way down his back. Other fins extend from his chin, shoulders, and elbows. His mouth is filled with sharp teeth. His eyes are oddly at peace. He doesn't acknowledge the king or general. Do you know who I am? I cannot, little Meropian. I am the king, and you will show me due respect. The Lost doesn't respond. Ask your questions, and be done with me. Who are you? I am the Lost. Don't make light of this. Your name? I have told you. Fine. Why did you attack Halifaros? We were bored. The Lost doesn't need a reason, my king. They simply do as they please. You're surprisingly coherent. I thought your people were all mindless brutes. A fool and a king are common friends. King Phaedrus flashes a bit of anger. Mind your tongue, lest you lose it. Now then, your people attacked my city, killed civilians and guards, out of boredom? Did I say boredom? I meant amusement. The screams of terror as the people fled. The glorious death your soldiers suffered. The destruction of your city. The Lost smiles a wicked grin. Reprehensible creature. I have no further questions, General. Very well, King Phaedrus. The Lost cackles. Does your title give you power, little Meropian? It does. Maybe if you were more civilized, you'd realize the danger you are in. I do not fear the one who can take my life. The Lost have no fear of death. Our greatest foe has always been one name. King Phaedrus goes silent. Unfortunate that no one bears the mantle. General Marcos, execute him. It shall be done. King Phaedrus leaves the dungeon behind. Afterwards, King Phaedrus swims back and forth in his throne room. General Marcos arrives and bows. The deed is done, sire. Good. Insolent creature. You can't expect much from the Lost, my liege. Don't let it affect you. He wouldn't have questioned father's authority. King Phaedrus looks at his throne. You handled this test well, my king. The Lost implied Aquatus as the only one they respect. I won't let his name become greater than mine. With his current predicament, I don't foresee that becoming a reality. Yes, you're right. Oh, in general, we shall honor those who perished today. General Marcos nods and salutes before leaving the king all alone. Aquatus and Phineas dodge several bites from the massive tiger shark. Aquatus swims in and kicks it in the jaw. It smacks him with his tail in response, then goes after Phineas. Phineas swims as fast as he can, but the shark is closing the distance. Before it bites him in half, Aquatus elbows the shark in the gills, sending it tumbling away. The two have a moment to catch their breath. I'm going to end this. Wait! There's an opportunity here. To do what? Calm the shark down. Are you crazy? It's trying to eat us. All the more reason to try. Aquatus thinks for a moment. The shark is beginning to regain its composure. He closes his eyes and focuses. The tiger shark swims in with aggression. Aquatus has to dodge another bite. It's not working. Keep trying. Aquatus keeps swimming back and trying to form a connection with the beast. Each bite threatens to tear a limb off. You're doing great, Aquatus. Just focus and you'll survive. Remember what I taught you. Aquatus lets out a frustrated sigh. The beast remains aggressive. Aquatus sees an opening to strike, but chooses not to. Instead, he keeps focusing until his mind connects with the shark. The shark jolts. Stop. The shark keeps swimming towards him. Stop. The shark begins to slow down as it fights the mental command. In the name of Poseidon, I command you to stop. The shark comes to a halt, mere centimeters from him. Aquatus looks at it. He feels the connection. Its mind is full of rage, but there is a subtle intelligence to the shark. It swims in front of him. For the first time, it looks peaceful. Whoa. I did it! You did it! Aquatus realizes he can't understand Phineas anymore, as he sounds like a regular dolphin. Huh. I can't hear him while I'm connected to the shark. Aquatus smiles and looks at Phineas. The dolphin eyes him suspiciously. Chase the dolphin. The shark slowly turns towards Phineas. Phineas looks back and forth between the shark and Aquatus. The shark begins to chase Phineas. Aquatus has a good laugh as he watches Phineas avoid the shark. All right, that's enough. Go home. The shark immediately stops and heads for the barrier. Once it crosses, Aquatus feels a sharp pain in his mind as the connection is severed. He brings a hand to his forehead to ease the pain. Phineas reconnects and glares at him. Now that's what I call a success. Phineas begins to bump Aquatus with his nose. Aquatus laughs as he darts away. Phineas begins to chase him across the trench. After several more days of training, Aquatus relaxes in his room. Phineas swims inside. Well, looks like my job is done. You've got a handle on your abilities, so you won't summon anything you don't desire. How will I get stronger? Same as anything else. Practice. Well, I believe it's time for you to answer my questions. Ask away. Who sent you? Who says I was sent? Who's to say you didn't summon me as well? Yeah, I happened to summon a dolphin to teach me about my new power. You're not off to a good start. Okay, I'll answer the next one. Have I been summoning monsters the entire time? No. The trench is filled with magical energy. I suspect it's reacting to your sustained presence. As far as I know, you only summoned the shark. I felt something strange as it entered the barrier. It was probably nothing. It didn't feel like nothing. Why do some of the beasts look like actual sea creatures and some like monsters? A good question. I believe it's the nature of the trench's magic. It has a way of altering things. Okay. Back home, my people are taught that only kings have aquatic telepathy. It's passed along so they can call upon sea creatures to defend Meropis. How come I have this gift, but the current king doesn't? Oh, maybe you Meropians don't know everything you think you do about the gift. Like any, it can be taken. You seem to know a lot about the trench and Meropis. Mind telling me who you really are? I'm Phineas. Phineas the talking dolphin. Correct. Aquatus narrows his eyes at him. Fine, keep your secrets. You were a terrible teacher, by the way. You were a terrible student. Liar. Phineas begins to drift out of Aquatus' room. Be careful, Aquatus. Prolonged exposure to the trench can have negative effects. I can hardly leave, much as I'd like to. Keep to this little room of yours. Don't explore this place. There are many dangers here, and not all of them originate from the trench. Keep your eyes open. With that, Phineas swims away, leaving Aquatus to simply shrug as he begins to eat his dinner. Elsewhere, the Queen's assassin swims through the open waters. His weapons gleam in the dark waters as his hunt is set to begin. Dragonverse fans! Hard to believe we are already halfway through the first season of Aquatus. As always, I hope you guys have been enjoying it so far. I've had a lot of fun bringing it to you as we've explored what is truly going on in the oceans in the Dragonverse. However, as we often do, it is time to reveal what comes next in the Dragonverse. We have certainly had our fair share of superpowered heroes, but every superhero universe isn't complete without a human that gets by on pure skill and grit, as that is what we will be doing next, as the next hero in the Dragonverse's lineup will be Nightwolf. Yeah, get ready, everybody. I promise it is going to be another fantastic series in the Dragonverse, and it'll be here before you know it. If you liked what you saw, give a like, give a share, subscribe, all the usual YouTube stuff. And until the next video, take care. Dragon out.